Master of Summer Retired Anna Maria Bliven, and I'm chuckling only because I'm so giddy that we have Rocky Blyer in our studio today. And we have been talking about something very near and dear to him and to me and to everyone that has served and is serving. And that is keeping our family unit together. And Warrior to Citizen exactly has that mission to help military families with everything that goes on with the military experience. We raise our right hand, but we know we're not alone. We know we have our family, and our family has us. But to be honest, the military hasn't been doing a great job in preparing the family and preparing the military in the family. And so, thankfully, and I give a shout out and a salute to Warrior to Citizen for doing what they do.
Thank you. And I think they do. I think they do a wonderful job. And so it's, it's just it's a fact is that they can't touch everybody, but it becomes an awareness factor. So from your listeners' point of view, and you might be able to may do something within your own community, within your own realm of being able to help the family, because that becomes the core. I as a soldier, a very egocentric. I'm a soldier and I can do whatever I want to do, and I can heal myself down the line, or nobody understands me, so I can talk to maybe another soldier about the stories or whatever takes place. But ultimately, in a family structure, the important thing is the communication within the family structure, understanding all the emotions with your spouse and with what the kids are going through, and being able to share it, because I think that becomes the most important thing. Once you get that as a basis for you, then you can move on. Then you can go on and do individual counseling or whatever it might be, to be able to handle the mental strengths or the mental problems that we all carry at one time or another. So that becomes very important. And I just want the listeners to know that there are, I'm sure, organizations out there, there's groups out there, just so that you're aware, as I said before, is that you can get involved within your community and within your VA system, because there's a whole nother thing there too. And we talk about the VA, and sometimes as former military, as you go, well, it's maybe not the greatest, thing, but it is available, and they do have a concern, and they offer services but I got to be able to get you there to begin with, and to get your trust back within the military family, to be able to take advantage of those services. And so a lot of the organizations that are out there that help support individual soldiers also understand that problem and help you direct and get you through the process of taking advantage of what the VA does have to offer. And hopefully there can be a fit there.
Hopefully there can be a fit there, because Rocky, you know that if you're what they call an M-Day soldier, weekend warrior, and you didn't serve on active duty a certain amount of time, you cannot get services. Or if you don't even have a connected disability, service connected, you can't get services. But does
Right.
that mean that's the end of the story? No, that is not the end of the story.
No,
And
there.
that brings me to the next one. That you have two nonprofits that we're showcasing. The
Right.
other one is Veterans Leadership Program. Can you talk us through that one?
Now, the Veteran Leadership Program is a program that has started. It started as the Vietnam Veterans Leadership Program some 30, 40 years ago, and then morphed into Veterans Leadership, into the Veterans Leadership Program as a whole. And so they're a hands-on organization here in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and they morphed over into the eastern counties of Ohio within this region. And so, excuse me, so they're boots on the ground. I mean, so from a homeless perspective, getting our soldiers out from underneath the bridges, giving them some hope, finding them, and taking care of those first basic needs of housing. They get you free housing. They get you jobs. They have hands-on, immediate help with mental health problems or whatever you're going through at this time, and then lead you into other organizations and support mechanisms for you. But the biggest thing is being there, being available, following up with calls, being interested in you as an individual. And as we well know, the statistic of homelessness within the veteran community because of mental health problems, because of legal problems, because of drug problems, are just given up, and they're on the streets, and they're under bridges, and so on and so on. So I like VLP very much because they're out there and doing a hands-on job and in my community, and so I can have an impact of some nature by helping them from an awareness point of view, from a financial point of view, from fundraising point of view, whatever it is, and see the fruits of their labor really work well. So that's why. So that's why I, when I talk about getting involved in your community, no matter where your listeners is because you can make a difference. You can make a difference. It doesn't have to be a national program, which might be easy to give just money to and say, okay, fine, I did my duty. But here is here is you can actually make a difference in somebody's life by getting involved in within whatever that organization might be. So that's why I'm involved in VLP and what they do.
I love the fact that regardless of VA eligibility, discharge status, or length of service, Veterans Leadership Program is on a mission to serve all who served. That's amazing.
Yes.
That is, that warms my heart as a veteran, because we know that with VA, you have to meet a certain eligibility criteria.
Right. And you do. And so in this case, that doesn't make any difference to them.
No.
And so they bring you in. They got in-house counseling that'll help. And a lot of it, and I'm not saying, but a lot of it is that somebody cares, about you. If you're out there by yourself and you just think that the world's passing you by, that nobody cares, whether you live or die, or what's happened to you. But as soon as somebody cares and somebody gets back to you and somebody follows up on what their word is and saying, hey, I'm going to do this, all of a sudden, your outlook kind of changes and you take some personal pride, because that's all soldiers in one respect or another have a personal pride in what they've done, and you touch that and it comes back, and so they'll help themselves to help you to help them.
Because there's two factors that's going on here. Mistrust is one, and the other is if you're serving in a service that's saying Army strong, it becomes ingrained that if you reach out for help, you're not strong.
Well, that's right. Yes. So it's our whole, it's the whole idea of how we perceive ourselves or what we've been taught, in the military. And I'm going to say this not to be differential, but as a male and your male ego, is that I can get through anything, but it won't bother me, or, I don't need help at all. And so, you defeat your own purposes, and you got to overcome that and say, yes, I do need something.
Okay, Specialist Blyer. I'm going to come from the female male.
No, thank you very much, Master Sergeant.
The fact that we have to prove ourselves.
Right.
We are the weaker sex. So we're going to show you guys how we can be strong and take care of our own lives because we are not the weaker sex like you make us out to be, right?
Yeah, right.
In the
Okay.
meantime, we're doing the same thing you guys are doing.
Yeah.
We are not allowing ourselves to say we need help.
Right.
And that's
And
the
that
bottom line to both of us,
it,
right?
both of us, it is.
Male
Yes.
or female. You're not allowing yourself to say, we need help.
Mm-hmm. And it's, and I think the biggest thing is getting over the perception that that is a weakness, and it's really not a weakness. It's really a strength to be able to say, "Hey, I need somebody. I need some guidance. I need some direction. I need you to tell me what needs to be done." And that's where the real inner strength comes from. If somebody can get over that hump.
Yes. And the Veterans Leadership Program empowers veterans to do just that. Well, we're going to continue this empowering conversation right after these messages.